Mark 11 verse 11. Jesus entered Jerusalem and went to the temple enclosure, and after looking around at everything, he left for Bethany with the disciples because it was already late in the day. Verse 12. On the next day, when they had left Bethany, he was hungry. Verse 13. Seeing at a distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to see if he would find anything on it. But he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. Verse 14. He said to it, "No one will ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples were listening to what he said. Verse 15. Then they came to Jerusalem. And he entered the temple grounds and began driving out the people who were selling and buying animals for sacrifice in the temple area, and overturned the tables of the money changers who made a profit exchanging foreign money for temple coinage, and the seats of those who were selling doves. Verse 16. And he would not permit anyone to carry merchandise or household wares through the temple. Verse 17. He began to teach and say to them, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations'? But you have made it a robber's den." Verse 18. The chief priests and the scribes heard this and began searching for a way to destroy him, for they were afraid of him, since the entire crowd was struck with astonishment at his teaching. Verse 19. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples would leave the city. Verse 20. In the morning, as they were passing by, the disciples saw that the fig tree had withered away from the roots up. Verse 21. And remembering, Peter said to him, "Rabbi, Master, look. The fig tree which you cursed has withered." Verse 22. Jesus replied, "Have faith in God constantly." Verse 23. I assure you and most solemnly say to you, whoever says to this mountain, "Be lifted up and thrown into the sea," and does not doubt in his heart in God's unlimited power, but believes that what he says is going to take place, it will be done for him in accordance with God's will. Verse 24. For this reason I am telling you, whatever things you ask for in prayer, in accordance with God's will, believe with confident trust that you have received them, and they will be given to you. Verse 25. Whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him. Drop the issue. Let it go, so that your Father who is in heaven will also forgive you your transgressions and wrongdoings against him and others. Verse 26. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your transgressions. Verse 27. They came again to Jerusalem. And as Jesus was walking in the courts and porches of the temple, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders came to him. Verse 28. And began saying to him, "By what authority are you doing these things, or who gave you this authority to do these things?" Verse 29. Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one question, and you answer me, and then I will tell you by what authority I do these things." Verse 30. Was the baptism of John the Baptist from heaven, that is, ordained by God, or from men? Answer me. Verse 31. They began discussing it with each other, saying, "If we say, 'From heaven,' he will say, 'Then why did you not believe him?' Verse 32. But shall we say, 'From men?'" They were afraid to answer because of the crowd, for everyone considered John to have been a real prophet. Verse 33. So they replied to Jesus, "We do not know." And Jesus said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things."